My name is Everett Marshall, and I'm making my first film. A Different Speed of Life is a story that really began to come together in December of 2005, which is when I took a trip to Houston, Texas. It was on this trip that I met a Houston morning radio host by the name of Kevin Klein. Kevin would tell you himself that he was a very selfish, materialistic person who really didn't care too much about anybody until the morning of the first day of Radiothon, and that's the day he met Chelsea Campbell. And it was this so-called chance meeting that changed Kevin's life. At one point she was in remission, but the cancer came back and surgery was required to remove tumors, which to this day holds a record at Texas Children's Hospital, a marathon surgery. And Chelsea survived that surgery. Kevin made a promise to her that in honor of her marathon surgery that he would run a marathon for her. Kevin continued to run, and always in honor of Chelsea, and to raise awareness and money for research to fight pediatric cancer, to eradicate the disease that ultimately killed Chelsea. In December of 2008, I was having another conversation with Kevin, and this is when he informed me of his plan to run from Dallas to Houston in 13 days. A nearly 500-mile run. I've done a lot of short-form media in my work with a high-profile children's charity since 2001. I've recorded and edited and produced about 2,500 audio stories for radiothon events like the one we did in Houston. But never have I taken on a project of the magnitude of a documentary. I really didn't have any idea what I was doing, but it was a good story. And I can tell stories. I know how to do that. So we got some cameras, we got some wireless mics, and some tape. And we started.
My mom helped me go through some papers that she wrote, and we found the word believe in a letter, and I went and blew it up and got it stuck on me.
It's just a training run, but it is the longest run that I've ever done. The elements certainly are not conducive to a great run today. Especially with the rain pouring down now. I didn't dress for that.
We have to use chemotherapy drugs to treat it. And the chemotherapy drugs come as pills and injections and IVs. If we don't do that, then you won't get over this leukemia and you won't grow up.
Not too long into the shooting schedule, I realized that I had grossly underestimated the amount of footage that I would be generating.
Unfortunately, sometimes people don't beat cancer.
What would I do with this footage after it was shot? Where would I put it? How would I get it into my editing system so that I could work in Final Cut? Up to this point, my storage system consisted of a software RAID occupying 2 available bays in my Mac Pro. I needed space, and I needed it now. So I began the process of trying to figure out how to build my own RAID system. I started to have flashbacks of all the times that I had hard drive failures, of all the times that I spent long nights sweating over data recovery software, scanning a drive and praying that I could pull fragments off of it. I revisited the boxes of dead hard drives that I have scattered all over my house. It didn't take me very long to realize that I had no business trying to put together a home-built box to hold data that was so precious. And I came across CalDigit. A couple of phone calls and a couple of emails exchanged with CalDigit, and they helped me figure out what system I needed to complete this project. And it turned out to be the HDOne. Unpacked it, installed the card in the Mac Pro, plugged in the HDOne, spun it up, and I was working. And I will tell you the feeling of transferring the footage from my internal software RAID to this external magic box, the HDOne. I immediately felt like I had a safety net. The features of the HDOne, you know, you can find them on their website. You can find them in the literature. I will tell you from my experience, yes, the HDOne is reliable and safe. Yes, it's fast. It's fast enough to edit HD content and not have dropped frames, which was a huge problem working on the software rate. Heat is the #1 killer of hard drives. The HDOne is designed to run cool. Mobility is not something I've explored with this HDOne. This unit's remained stationary since it was installed, but it is a nice feature to have in your back pocket. It is brilliantly designed to the point that failure is nearly engineered out of the equation. What I have discovered is that it is, in fact, the most critical component to my edit system. One of the things that I have been witness to as our story unfolds back, going all the way back to December of 2005, is the contagious inspiration that I've watched ignite from one person to the next. And everyone just doing what they do. From Kevin to Kevin's wife, who supports him in everything he does. She just does what she does. The inspiration is transferred to Kevin's friend Sean, who can't run, but he's a really good planner. And he created the route for this nearly 500-mile run. Somehow I get involved. I can't run and I can't plan a route, but I can shoot and I can edit. I'm just going to tell that story. I'm just going to do what I do. And strangely enough, CalDigit is part of that equation too, just by doing what they do. And what they do is design and engineer high-quality storage products that give people like me a place to put our projects that we can trust, and that we know that day to day they are going to do what they are designed to do, and that is just to work.
You knocked it out twice, didn't you?
Yep.
That is a phenomenal thing. That is a phenomenal thing.
And wait for those 2 words, cancer-free, which we're working that way. But like I say, it's a process.
Those of us who are fortunate enough to work in creative industries invest far too much time and money and emotion to trust our projects to anything less than well-designed products like those at CalDigit.
That last 100 yards, I think he was energized by being with those kids. And in fact, I think he experienced what we all experience, which is that we draw our inspiration in this fight from the children.
My name is Everett Marshall. I've got a story to tell. CalDigit helps me tell it.